All right, today we're going to follow the money. We're going to see what really happens behind the scenes when you pay for something online. We're putting two major systems head to head. You've got the classic credit card, and then you've got this powerful new challenger, Pix Parcelado. You know that feeling, right? You click buy, it says processing, and bam, payment approved. But what just happened in those 2 seconds? Well, that approval, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Behind that little message is this incredibly fast journey for your data, but a surprisingly slow journey for the actual cash. So let's trace both of those paths and find out where your money really goes. Okay, first up, let's tackle the one we all know, the credit card transaction. It's best to think of this not as just one single event, but more like a high-speed relay race. Your payment info is the baton, and it's getting passed between 4 key players in a split second. So the second you hit that buy button, the first handoff goes to something called the payment gateway. Think of it like a bouncer at a club's door. It's one job. Its only job is to grab your sensitive card details, lock them down tight with encryption, and make absolutely sure they travel safely to the next person in line. From that gateway, the baton gets passed to the acquirer. Now, this is basically the merchant's bank. You know, the bank for the store you're buying from. It takes that encrypted data and officially shoots the payment request out into the wider financial network. And who's next? The card brand. We're talking Visa, MasterCard, you name it. These guys are like the air traffic controllers of the whole operation. They don't actually hold any money, but they manage all the highways and byways, directing that request to the one place that can give the final yes or no. And that final destination, that's your bank, the issuer, the very institution that gave you the card in the first place. It gets the request and does the final crucial check. Does this person have enough funds or credit? Is the account okay? And then boom, it gives the final thumbs up or thumbs down. So just to recap that madness, it goes from you to the gateway, to the acquirer, to the card brand, to your bank, and the approval zips all the way back to the merchant. This whole digital handshake, it happens in like 2 seconds flat. But, and this is a huge but, the authorization is instant. The actual money? Oh, it's taking the slow, scenic route. Yeah. Even though your purchase gets approved right away, the merchant doesn't see a dime of that cash. Not yet. It can take up to 30 days, a whole month, for the money to actually wiggle its way from your bank, through the whole system, and finally land in the merchant's account. For a business, that's a massive, massive delay. So you gotta ask, right? Why on earth would any merchant put up with that kind of delay and pay a fee of 2 to 3% on every single sale? Well, it's because that little fee is the gasoline that makes this whole engine run. It pays for all the security, the tech, and, well, something you probably really, really like. And this is where we get to the hidden secret, the trade-off. That 2 or 3% fee the merchant pays, it gets sliced up. The banks and the card brands, they all take their cut. And a little piece of it, it gets sent right back to you in the form of cashback or points or airline miles. So yeah, in short, your rewards are basically being paid for by the stores you shop. Okay, let's switch gears completely. Now we're going to look at a totally different model. Enter Pix Parcelado, which basically means installment Pix. It's a much newer way to do buy now, pay later, and it comes directly from Brazil's insane instant payment system. Now, this is super important. Pix Parcelado is not a credit card feature. It's not. What it really is a personal loan. A bank or some fintech company fronts you the cash. You use that to make an instant full payment to the merchant via Pix. So the merchant is thrilled, right? They get their money immediately. And you now owe the bank, not the store, and you pay them back over time with interest. And hey, it's really easy to get this mixed up with something that sounds similar, Pix with a credit card, but they're different. That's when you're just using your existing credit card limit to fund a Pix payment, and the whole charge just lands on your next credit card bill. Pix Parcelado, the one we're talking about, is a whole new separate credit agreement. It doesn't touch your card's limit one bit. So when you compare this to that crazy credit card relay race we just talked about, this flow is, well, it's just so much simpler. It's really just 3 steps. 1, you pick the option at checkout. 2, the bank pays the merchant instantly. And 3, you pay the bank back over time.
That whole complex web of acquirers and card brands, it's just gone, completely bypassed.
Okay, so we've got two very, very different journeys for your money. On one hand, you've got this complex system that's all funded by merchant fees. And on the other, you have a direct loan made straight to you, the consumer. So let's put them side by side and see who's really footing the bill here.
For you, the customer, the biggest difference you're going to feel right away is probably the cost. I mean, sure, paying in installments on a credit card can have interest, but Pix Parcelado is a straight-up personal loan, and because of that, its rates can be a lot higher. We're showing an example here of, say, 2% versus 6% a month, but that rate can be all over the place. It really just depends on how the bank's credit check on you goes.
And this table, man, it just breaks down that core trade-off perfectly. With a credit card, the cost is mostly hidden from you, the consumer. It's paid by the merchant through those fees. But with Pix Parcelado, the cost shifts directly onto your shoulders in the form of interest. And what does the merchant get in return? The one thing they value most: instant cash with zero fees.
So what does this all mean for how we're going to be paying for stuff in the future? Because this isn't just some tiny technical difference we're talking about. This is a fundamental ground-level shift in the whole landscape of payments and credit.
And let me tell you, this shift is already happening, and it's massive. Get this. In 2023, the number of Pix transactions in Brazil didn't just grow. It blew past all credit and debit card transactions combined. We're talking about almost 42 billion instant payments. That tells you everything you need to know about the huge appetite for newer, faster ways to move money.
So who wins the fight? Well, the thing is, it's not really a fight. It's more like a menu of different trade-offs. For you, the consumer, it's a choice. Do you want the rewards you get from a card, or do you want the broader access to credit that Pix can give you? And for the merchant, it's another choice. Do they want to guarantee a sale by accepting a card, or do they want that instant fee-free cash that comes with Pix?
And all of this brings us to a much bigger question. See, this isn't just about two ways to pay. It's about how credit itself is evolving. It's becoming more instant, more integrated into everything we do, and more invisible. So as these systems keep blurring that line between paying for something and borrowing money, you have to wonder, are we watching the final step before the physical wallet disappears for good, becoming just a relic of the past? Thanks for joining me on this explainer.